So, I want to be the very best, like no one ever was, among photographers. And there's ways that this can happen. So I'm going to break down how I'm going to do it exactly to you. So, there's the first element, which is awards. There's a Japanese man, I can't say his name, there's a guy who won 1,566 awards in his life, including about 600 medals. And in order to reach his level of greatness in terms of awards, I would need to reach about 1,600 photography awards. Probably actually maybe double, because there's some other person who is just like me who wants to be the very best, and then I need to be able to outstrip the very best, like maybe twice over at least, if I'm gonna actually do it. That's the very first thing. There's the awards. Then secondly, there is income. Now on income, I'm going to get my ass kicked. Well, I can get my ass kicked for some time, but let's see how well I can do. On income, there are literal photographers who have multi-million-dollar contracts in order to cover particular projects. I think there are two. I'll just list the names below, or you can search them up to like $50 million contracts where they sign and they head the activity, or they control the activity of creating photos for particular projects, whether they are cinematic, whether they are meant to illustrate or showcase something, send a message out to the world. There are levels to this where it literally gets into the multi-millions, and I'll have to get there and master the income element of, right, and also a management element of human beings regarding photography. So then this is the second way that I'm going to become the greatest to ever do it. The third way is to become the most respected. This is difficult for me because I'm a bit of an amusing character. I'm not necessarily quiet, I'm not necessarily humble. And basically I talk shit. I'll say whatever it is that I want to. Makes me difficult to respect. However, you will also find that at any time I am the greatest charity worker in any building that I'm in. I have 4 years of full-time charity work under my belt already, and a great number of connections, and I've helped to flow millions of rands already towards charity projects. Could be as a fundraiser, could be whatever way that I am adding to this, but I've already got charity work in there. So the way in which I can be the greatest of all time when it comes to being respected is feats only, yeah? And therefore, it needs to become such that I make a gigantic income from my photography career and perhaps donate 95% to charity, or use 95% in order to better the world, change people's lives in my community and beyond. And this is the way that I will be respected. So I need to amplify myself in these particular ways if I'm going to have a chance at becoming the very best. I'm aware, I'm telling you, and this is the tutorial. I'll tell you before I've done it, because there's a certain quality to the mortality. A 1997 Amazon will always be beautiful as there's a balding Jeff Bezos in his father's garage. Because that's the real Amazon. What made it the giant today is actually somehow this scrawny little bastard teenager in a garage. So you're seeing that right now. Although I might not be scrawny. We're working on bald though.